So, welcome to part two of Cool Mom Records history. So, um, by the time the concept had come of actually empowering women through a record company, everything fell in place because that fell in place with my idea of the single tax, and that particular economic paradigm. And I said, it was like a revelation. It was like, obviously, I mean, the mothers bring up the stars. Elvis Presley's mother, Bob Marley's mother, all these people, and Elvis Presley's community, Bob Marley's community, all these people have contributed to the growth of the talent, but never got the money in the level that it's supposed to come back into the community, not to the level that it should. Because as an artist, with the construct that you have now in the business, you probably get about 10% of what you generate. You understand? So for me, I looked at the whole thing, and then I looked at the issue of we could cut the cost of promotion because again with a record, when a record comes out, the part of the budget that really matters is promotion. Chris Blackwell pumped a lot of money into Bob Marley's career. It wasn't just like, okay, Bob was great, and then you had to pay to put Bob in those places where he would be noticed by the right people. And that was like amounts of money. You understand? Like hardcore. And the person who told me this is Delroy Washington, who was there because Delroy was there in London in 71, 72 to help engineer that meeting with Chris Blackwell and all of that. I mean, back forth. I don't know exactly what happened. I hear stories that sometimes conflict, but I know that he was there, looking out for Bob in London, looking out for the Wailers in London, running, fetching, getting musicians. If Bob needed to record while the Wailers were still in Jamaica, Bob was doing some things for Danny Sims, and Johnny Nash. Delroy Washington, who was just a youth at that time, was running around making things happen. So he told me about that. He witnessed it, and he took part in some of the recordings of Catch a Fire. He also told me about what Chris Blackwell's vision was, and he saw Chris Blackwell start put his vision into motion and to make the band look like a very eclectic band that they played all the instruments, whereas there was actually many other session musicians who were brought in, but this was not known until later. So Blackwell was skillfully trying to make the sound as though it was only the musicians from Jamaica, the Wailers as such, who did it, whereas he had people overdubbing. You had Bondrick on the keyboards, and you had Wayne Perkins, I believe, on the guitar and stuff like that, and Delroy himself doing some backing vocals. And so, um, what's the point I'm trying to make? I just love the Wailers so much. I love talking about Wailers so much that as though I was there and I wasn't there. But I was talking to somebody who was there. But what's the point I'm trying to make? Yes, promotion costs. So he says that look, yes, a significant amount was put into Burning Spear, right, as far as promotion, but nowhere near the astronomical amounts that was put into Bob Marley. And you also had a big band at the same time, which could have made it like really big. That's Third World. That one did not get that much promotion. So it really was, especially at that time, the promotion that mattered, and that's the biggest costs. And what I saw was like, look, if you have this construct where every time the women promote an album, it makes it easier for those same women to buy the diapers, to buy the groceries, to send their kids to school. You know, you could cut out the unnecessary middleman, which is the big boss man in the music industry, and bring in like 100% instead of just 10%. Bring in the 100% of what you generate and put it into our communities. So you could end up building our own schools and all those type of things. So that's why for me it was like I could see the vision. That's why when I went to my wife and said, "Look," and she's kind of like, I was like, "Damn, like really?" And that's why I really wanted to go hardcore with it. And I realized that it was the perfect vehicle for bringing in all the different platforms of public participation that I had been developing along the way. Everything from the $10 billion plan, everything comes under Cool Mom Records, which is why we are creating the Cool Mom Records Constitution, which we have to plant the seed for that one here in 2019 in Zanzibar. So the next big thing here after we send Ronnie off and give Ronnie all the tools for Zisakuduse, because that's how I work. I try to go see. Zisakuduse is mainly Ronnie's thing, you know. I'm involved obviously, but it's mainly his thing, and I'm trying to tell him, do this, here's the tools, here, whatever, and this is the dangers. But at the same time, gotta make sure that he doesn't fall into the format that keeps us enslaved. You understand? That keeps us colonized. That's why I've been using the type of hard language, like colonize or whatever, to make him see that, Ronnie, when you don't do what I tell you to do in this way, you're going into that format, and that's the format of the colonizer. Okay? So I don't want him to take it personally, like, hey, this and this and this and that. It's not just him. It's everybody. Everybody falls into that because we have been brainwashed to work within a certain type of structure. And I cannot afford to follow that structure because I know what that structure means. It means we keep going back to prison. It means that we keep staying on welfare. It means that we keep killing one another. It means that we keep doing all these things. It's because of a certain structure. And it means that we keep taking the best of our music and giving all the money away. Once you get wise to the whole idea of keeping the money within your community, record companies don't like that. That's why we know it's the record companies that has killed the best of our artists, because they know where that money is. I don't know about Illuminati and all those things. Forget that nonsense. It's got nothing to do with that. It's got to do with hardcore cash. You know, money which people know that they don't want to let go of that money. You understand? The people who were your friends when they were signing you end up being your enemy because they want that money. You know, so all these Illuminati, blah, 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 you know, that's not what I see as the main problem. What I see as the main problem is when we sign ourselves to a structure that is actually destructive to ourselves. That's why Cool Mom Records, based on the nurturing, love, care of mothers, and based to actually go and assist that role of women, I knew that this is the one, this is the solution. And I could see everything fitting. I could see Empress Menin Foundation fitting into it. I could see everything fitting into it. I could see Princess Aminata Foundation for my daughter fitting into it. You see, because I've been away from my daughter for so long that I need to justify why I, as a father, would abandon my daughter for a long walk across Africa. You know, I'm a family man. I love children. I love being around my children. When I came here to the States, I don't want to do anything. I just want to stay at home. You understand? That's the type of person that I really am. But because of the mission, I have to go out and try and make things work. And this is what I have. It's music. Is what I wanted to do. So for me to leave my daughter for so long, it needs to be justified. And what I knew I could leave as a legacy, because I have an older sister who criticizes what I do. She says, what is your legacy? And I know that what I can leave as a legacy is this structure which respects women, which gives to the women what is theirs, which gives women a chance to benefit from the talent of their children, which gives women a chance to have some kind of influence in their own community. You know? That's when I realized that, oh, this is something that is divinely orchestrated. I cannot let it go, no matter what it is. Whoever is against it or whoever cannot see it, I will have to make them see it, because this is where the real struggle is. We can't keep having our children killing each other out there. We can't. There's got to be something, some financial thing that takes care of them. Look, when they go spend money on records, it goes to make the white man rich. Sorry to use the word white in that sense, but it goes to make the big record man rich. And at the same time, the big record man does not want to promote the type of music that is going to give us the knowledge and the consciousness to take care of ourselves. Tupac came from a very conscious mother, a revolutionary mother. And for a long time, he was trying to get his music out there, talking conscious stuff. He didn't get no deal. But once he starts talking about taking down another brother, they say, here's the record deal. So you can see what the agenda is. So if we have our children spending on Nike, spending on this and spending on that and all of that over there, you can see where the money goes. Why can't we have at least our music and make money from our music and make that be the one thing that keeps us right down to the babies, right down to college, right down to real estate, all of that, everything, insurance, mental health, everything that our sisters are working with, it can be financed by this, because you can have it being financed not even from record sales, but from membership. If you have a constitution that is built on that and you have membership, that means that you can have half of the world's population, 3.5 women, giving $1 each. That is 3.5 billion coming in. You can have a real strategy. Women will, whatever it is that you're doing out there to make a better society, wherever it is that you're getting your funding from, wherever constructions it is that you make to go get funding for your projects as women, mental health, whatever, blah, 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 you don't have to do that because your membership pays for all of that. You understand? You don't have to go construct it and have any kind of enmity between each other as women and all this divide and rule stuff. Just get together, have the constitution, make everybody pay, and a rich woman can pay for the poor women who cannot. So if it's $1, it's $1 a month. A rich superstar lady from Malibu could say, okay, I will pay for 50 women from India every month. It's only $50, you know. So in that way, you could actually have it over. But now, if the man, you know, the brothers who want to support the women, like myself, join in, then, you know, technically you would have another 3.5 billion people. That is $7 billion coming into this thing. Everybody would have to respect that. All financial institutions would have to respect that. We could do whatever we need to do. Plant a tree, clean the ocean, whatever. We could do all those things. That is why I keep pushing for this more than say, okay, fundraise from sponsors for Sisakuduse. And I'm not prepared to do any of those things to stay in the system because my intelligence and what I have as a person, my ability to study and learn or whatever, if I was to stay in that system, I'll not be fucking with this at all. I'll not be on Facebook at all with any of you at all. I'll be studying my books, making sure I'm the top class lawyer. You know, I'll be studying law because then I'll be out to fuck you all up and make you pay me for all what I'm trying to do. Say, you want to spend an hour with me, then this is what you got to pay me, dude. I'm sorry, but that's how the system works because I'm all for that system. And that's what it is. You got to pay for justice. The fucked up justice. But the real justice, I'm paying for it by walking from Cape to Cairo, by staying up here all the time, arguing with everybody, and looking like the asshole that I sometimes look like. It's simply because I don't want to be a real asshole out there because I got what it takes to be a lawyer. All you need to do is to study the law. You know, that's all you need to do, and it's right there. And then I could just specialize in what I want to do, you know. It's simple, Rasta. It's very simple. Just study. And I can study. You hear me? So I want you all to really appreciate the brother that I am, the effort, the wisdom, the patience, the love, and the vision most of all, because this is for real. We can't continue like this. We've got 12 years to save the planet. We need to do it. We've got to plant a tree and clean the ocean. We've got to get this together. And from now, we've got from now until the 1st of February to come up with a campaign that we're gonna raise under the name of Bob Marley. You know about that in the next video because I'll talk about how I respond to Bob Marley and the melody and to Ziggy Marley and the Melody Makers, and it's all legit. And to raise the money that we need for Sakuduza so that Ronnie can get his thing going and we can get as many women as possible to Zanzibar to go look at the constitution of Cool Mom Records on the 8th of March. All right? So that's what the agenda is. All right? Blessed love, Rastafari.